What up, world? Welcome to another episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow, social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow. Go watch all the visuals, episodes out. Oh man, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you know what it is. It's Tuesday, so you already know. It's I Bleed Sports. Oh man. Um, Sports has been good. Sports have been good, man. Got some boxing I want to talk about. Of course, football is officially here. Um, so yeah, man. So let's start off like this. So the Olympics happened. Team USA, um, basketball teams, men's and women's, beat France, who was the host country of the Olympics. Um, the women won 67-66. I immediately started seeing people being like, see, this is why you should have had, who, Caitlin Clark on the team. Is just like, no, they shouldn't have. The fuck was she gonna do? Shoot threes all day? Like, she can't defend. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, and that game was physical. She would have, FIFA would have never called them fouls for her. I think people are delusional when they look at FIFA. Um, but yeah, they would have never called those fouls for her. So yeah. But we'll see her next. If we see her in 4 years, hopefully. Um, but the women won. Um, the, it's kind of interesting because it could have been a tie. It could have went into overtime. But uh, foot was on the line from the France young lady player. She threw it up and it went in, but they were like foot on the line. So it was just like, oh man, I don't know if they would have went into overtime. I think Team USA would have still took it, but it would have been a little bit interesting. But yeah, the men also won. Um, their gold medal was a little bit easier to establish. Winning the gold medal 98-87 was the final, and Steph Curry went off, and people have been debating since he made that shot at the end. Listen, man, Steph Curry is one of the greatest to ever do it. He ain't just the greatest shooter. He ain't just the greatest, point guard. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. And you're gonna miss him when he's gone. That's why I've always heard people when people try to like say that dumbass shit, like, is he on the same, is he what was it a couple months ago? People was like, I think Gilbert Arenas and then was like, Steph Curry ain't no legend or he ain't really that great or anything like that. Like, nigga, is you stupid? Are you fucking dumb? Like, what are you talking about? Steph Curry is one of the greatest to ever do it. I will say this: the shot that he made is great, but that's Steph Curry shit. Like, I don't know why people are like so like, oh, he hit that. I can't believe, bro, that nigga do that shit in basketball games. I've seen this man hit a half court shot to win a game against the OKC Thunder in a basketball game. Like without effort. Like this shit just went and he just made the shit. Like you just like, what the fuck just happened? This man makes half court shots in his sleep. Come on, bro. Like, great shot. Not sitting up here and acting like it wasn't a great shot. Great fucking shot. I think the hype was a little bit too much for it. I can't believe I'm saying that, but the hype was a little bit too much. I'm like, bro, he do that shit. Like, what the fuck? The dumbest thing about this is Nicholas Batum and Evan Fournier, who are actual professional basketball players, knew that shit was about to happen, and they did not do it. They were in his vicinity, but what the fuck is this gonna do? You gotta get literally up on that motherfucker and stop him. Like that was all on them. That was their fault. They deserved to get that shot hit on their ass like it got shot. That was so stupid. So stupid. Which brings me to, NBA schedule came out. Really, it was, Commissioner's Cup. I went and just before I got on here, I wanted to see what was, and it was just a schedule for the Commissioner's Cup. I mean, they've been dropping certain games here and there was coming out, and so a couple of days ago, maybe yeah, a couple of days ago, maybe like yesterday. I'm tripping. A couple of days ago, yesterday on First Take, it was who do you think is going to come from the Olympics and have something to prove out of everybody that played in the Olympics. And if I had to make a list, um, at the top of my list would be Victor Wembanyama. I think Victor Wembanyama is going to win. First of all, San Antonio is going to be good this year. You got Stephen Castle, the UConn guard. Then you pair him with Chris Paul, a veteran, one of the greatest to ever do it as a point guard. And then you put him with Victor Wembanyama. Like, bro, this shit is going to get bad. This shit gonna get bad, bro. I think San Antonio's gonna be good. I think San Antonio is a sleeper team. I talk about that more when the NBA season roll around. But I got San Antonio as a fucking sleeper team. And I mean, like, I think they can actually make some noise. I think they might be in a, like, I don't even think they make the play in. I think they're like a 4 or 5 seed. Like, that's how much faith I got in San Antonio. That's how much faith I got in Victor. Like, the dude is 7'6", 7'7", shooting threes, dribbling the ball. That's Giannis with actual shooting ability. That shit is disturbing. And then you add Chris Paul, who is one of the greatest point guards of all time. Nigga, what? And then you got Devin Vassell. You got Devin Vassell on that team. You got Kendall Johnson on that team. You got man, San Antonio got some fucking people, bro. Yeah, I, man. Shit. Be worried. Be very fucking concerned, ladies and gentlemen. I think, yeah, I got San Antonio being amazing. I think Victor Wembanyama is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. The Spurs are going to be like the 4th or 5th seed in the West, and I'm gonna be honest. And I'm gonna be honest. I would be surprised if Victor wins the fucking MVP this year. That's my dark horse for MVP, Victor Wembanyama. You think I'm tripping? You think I'm crazy as a motherfucker? But Greg Popovich now having actual real players that can help him. Oh man, this shit gonna get disturbing. It might get disturbing. Oh my god. And in the West, you got the Lakers that really didn't do anything to change their situation. Golden State lost Klay Thompson. That is gonna hurt them. Dallas has got to figure out how Klay Thompson how Klay Thompson actually fits in Dallas with Kyrie and Luca. Like that's a different type of animal, man. Denver has got to figure out how Denver is gonna, you know, get back to a championship winning team. After losing in the playoffs this past season to a Minnesota team who to the day I to the day they do it. If I'm Minnesota, bro, I am trading Victor. I'm trading Rudy Gobert, and I'm trading Karl Anthony Towns, and I am making this whole team Anthony Edwards. Speaking of Anthony Edwards, that is the second person I think will take off after the Olympics. I think Anthony Edwards is going to dominate after the. He's going to dominate. He either him or Victor are going to be the MVP of the NBA. I just feel like one of them two are going to be the MVP of the NBA. I can't even look at them two and be like them two will not. Them motherfuckers gonna be the MVP of the NBA. I see it already coming. And I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people. Say I saw yesterday also they were like, oh, Jason Tatum is going to be the one that's going to come. For me, the ship has sailed on Jason Tatum. You saw it in the Olympics. There's Jason Tatum is good at everything. He's one of those. He's good at everything, and that's good. But when you're on a team, and it's supposed to be your team, as good as you are, there's something to be missing. He's good. He's not special. Like Kevin Durant can't win a title by himself. Like Kevin Durant's great, but Kevin Durant can't win no fucking title by himself. I'll be surprised if Phoenix is good this year. I actually think they could be good this year, depending on what that offense is actually going to be. But yeah, man, I, I, I feel like Anthony Edwards is the one person you should watch on Team USA. Him and Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people don't talk about Tyrese Halliburton. That man barely fucking played. Tyrese Halliburton has got a burden. He's got a he is going to go crazy in the regular season. I can actually see Tyrese Halliburton having a better season than Jason Tatum. I can actually see Tyrese Halliburton having a better season than Jason Tatum. Watch what happens. But those are my two, man. I think Anthony Edwards and I think Victor Wembanyama. I think them two gonna battle it out to see who gonna be MVP. And I actually think, excuse me, I think one of them could actually end up being the number one seed. I say the Spurs probably 4 or 5, but with the West being what it is, they can easily sneak into being the number one seed, number two at least. Also, can we finally give Aja Wilson the credit? She is one of the best women basketball players. Fuck that. She's one of the best basketball players that's doing it right now. I think people, like I've said numerous times, Caitlin Clark is great to start the conversation of what WNBA is. But once you get into the WNBA, we have to acknowledge there are better women than her right now. And Aja Wilson is the best women's basketball player on the planet. If anybody sits there and tells me that she's not, you are fucking delusional. Now, this past Saturday, um, Virgil Ortiz fought, won the match. If you don't know who Virgil Ortiz is, he's middleweight champion. And before the fight, Turkey Al Sheik, who's now kind of like a new boxing promoter, but has all the money in the world to pull it off, and Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya, pretty much said if Virgil Ortiz wins tonight, won the fight Saturday, he would be the one to fight Terrence Crawford next. And then they also made on that boxing card, if it goes that way, William Cepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. Terrence Crawford and Shakur are like close best friends, so kind of in the same camp, kind of. So that's really cool to see Shakur and Terrence Crawford be on the same card. That'd be really dope to see. Here's the thing: whenever Errol Spence fights, whenever Errol Spence fights, um, Fedor, if Errol Spence wins, depending on what happens with the Terrence Crawford fight, because that shit might fall through by the time they get to that fight. I think Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence should fight again. I know. I said last week I watched that fight over, and Errol Spence got his ass whooped. But I truly believe that they should fight again. They should fight again. But I actually also agree with what I said also last week, which was Terrence Crawford should stay in the middleweight division. You have nothing left in the welterweight outside of maybe a rematch with Earl Spence. That's pretty much it. And maybe Boots, maybe fight Boots, but you only got like 2 fights that you can really even say he would be intrigued by. Whereas for the middleweight division, Ortiz, eventually Canelo, but you got Caleb Plant, you got Charlo. Like you got fights in the middleweight division that you could take. Demetrius Andreas. You got fights in the middleweight division. Charles Crawford could take. So it'd be pretty interesting if that happens. But I don't know. All right. So college football is around the corner. I won't be talking about it today. I won't be talking about college football today because next week I'll be doing Obly Sports college football preview show. It would just be me. I won't talk about anything else. I know NFL is going on. I know basketball is coming up eventually and all that. But it will be just a show dedicated just to college football next week. I will be talking about that. Everything that's going on in college football, the conferences aligning. Um, I'll be giving my Heisman prediction, my dark horse, who I think can make it to the college playoffs. I'll be talking about the college playoffs, the 12-team college playoffs. I'll be talking about the Michigan scandal that's still going the fuck on. I'll be talking about this crazy ass top 10 list, top 25 list that just came out, which is so fucking weird. But I'll be talking about all of that shit. I'll be talking about all of that shit next week. Um, and I'll be talking about my favorite, some of my upcoming, my key matchups, some of the best matchups I feel like of this upcoming week, this upcoming college football season. You know, so can't wait to do that next week. Next week. But what I said, football is back, and preseason football is one of those things. Preseason happened this past Thursday, first week of officially football. Preseason is officially back. Um, it's preseason. You can't really get too hyped up on preseason. I mean, it's I get it. Like it's fucking preseason. You got most of the starters not even playing. Um, I like this season's preseason though. I like the fact that they did play a couple of the starters and used a couple of the starters. That's a good thing. So, but yeah, it's preseason, man. I can't really get too hyped up on it. Um, but I will say this: well, here's the thing. Before I get into this, Brian Ayuk and Assad Reddick. Brandon Ayuk asked for a trade last week. They finally requested. They finally accepted his trade request. 49ers did. This week, Hassad Reddick of the New York Jets has asked for a trade out. 49ers are still actively looking for a trade. Now, some people are saying that Pittsburgh and the 49ers have already come to terms. We shall see by the end of the night. Um, Maybe going into next week. I don't know. But clearly, Brandon Ayuk has said pretty much have probably told them, I want to go to one place only, and that's Pittsburgh. And if I can't go to Pittsburgh, I can't even sit here and say he would probably stay in. I can't even sit there and say he stays in San Francisco because what the fuck are you staying in San Francisco for? Like you don't want to be there, and they're not going to pay you. And he went out his way doing this uh this weekend while preseason was going on. He went out of his way to officially put reporters on blast for putting reporters on blast for saying that, oh, he's trying to work out a new deal with the 49ers. And he's like, man, who the fuck is giving you this information? like, who the fuck is giving you this information? So, so, but yeah, so he was like, yo, like, that's not true. I'm not working out a new deal with San Francisco. I still want out. Now, either he stays in San Francisco or he gets traded to the 49ers. I do think it's going to be a team that we aren't talking about that's going to actually end up scooping and getting Brandon Ayuk. I truly believe, like I told my brother Juan, I can easily see Washington getting Brandon Ayuk. I can easily see it. I know they don't probably want to trade in conference, but you're getting to the point now where it's like, bro, you got to make a deal. Like, this dude is not going to play for you, clearly, and you can't fucking hold him hostage. Now, at some point, now, speaking of funny as shit, CD Lamb, Jerry Jones, also doing preseason, says, I'm not in the rush to sign CD Lamb to an extension. And CD Lamb was like, that's some stupid shit to say. Pretty much that's what he was trying to say. Maybe we read it. What I read was LOL meant that's some stupid shit to say. Nigga, trade me. Get me the fuck out of here. I have said this numerous times. If I was San Francisco, I'd probably trade Brandon Ayuk. If I was Dallas, I'd just sign CD Lamb. You have no offense. Dallas has no offense. This isn't the same as San Francisco. San Francisco could still work through their offensive woes. They still got Debo. Yeah, he gets injured a little bit too damn much for my liking. But you still got Debo. You still have Christian McCaffrey. You got George Kittle. Even though they all getting up there in age and they also never really healthy for a lot of the season, you might can find you might can find something for Brandon Ayuk if you trade him. Dallas cannot afford to get rid of CD Lamb. You barely have an offense now. And I know people were like, I know people said this preseason game, they're like, oh, Dallas couldn't score a touchdown. It wasn't like CD Lamb was playing in the first fucking preseason game to begin with. That shit would have been, that's delusional if you thought that shit. But yeah, I feel like CD Lamb is going to get signed to Dallas. It's going to happen because Dallas cannot afford CD Lamb to go somewhere else. They can't afford it. So, yeah, that's how I read it. That's how I read it. Sal Reddick has not even been in Jets camp yet. That motherfucker ain't put on no jersey. He ain't put on no helmet. He hasn't done a motherfucking thing for the Jets. And yet, he's already like anywhere but here. Anywhere but The Jets have already shit the bed with this man. I don't know if they told him they're not gonna pay him. I don't know if they said they was gonna pay him. I don't know shit. We don't know shit. But what we know is that he like, man, get me the fuck out of here. I truly believe that the Jets probably need to trade Hassan Reddick. Here's why I said this. He hasn't played it down for you yet. He has no loyalty to you. You traded for a guy from Philly. You brought him in because you lost your actual pass rusher, who was literally the leader of sacks on your team last year. You lost him to Philly. Philly traded him to you. You gave up what, a 6th round pick? Wasn't like you gave up a fucking super crazy pick. You gave up like a 6 round pick for this man. Bro, just trade the fucking dude. What are you doing? Like, dude, just trade him. Get him out of the system. You don't owe him anything, and he doesn't owe you a damn thing. You sitting there having the general manager of the Jets being like, "Oh, we're not gonna trade him." Like, for fucking what reason? He has not played for you yet. You gonna have this contract dispute going on this entire fucking season. The man never touched the field for you, and on top of that, he probably knows you're not going to resign him. So if that is the case, trade this man. The fuck are you doing? I don't know where Hassan Reddick goes because whoever trades for him, you have to sign him to an extension. You have to pay him. That is why I feel like people that's like, oh well, Atlanta need to go get him, and Denver did. Team that actually got some fucking cap space and got money that can actually pay this fucking dude, go get him. Go actually get him. If I was Chicago, maybe Washington, Houston, if you still got some cap space, Jags, Colts, like New England, they talking about trading Matt Judon, but if you trade and go get Hassan Reddick and pair him with Matt Judon, like that is a scary ass pass rush. Yo, like no man, man, no. Detroit, like somebody needs to go get Hassan Reddick and bring him into that team because there's no way in hell you about to sit up there and tell me that you cool with this man being, you're actually cool with this man. The Jets are cool with pretty much keeping this man, knowing damn well he's leaving. Like he's leaving in free agency. You got him there for no reason at all. Like it just I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the situation. I don't get it. Yeah, I would trade us already. It doesn't make sense. He hasn't cost you anything. You pretty much are now probably gonna sign him to an extension. What are you losing? You lost some pick. You lost a pick that you probably wasn't even gonna fucking use to begin with. Like, man. Um, but preseason one has happened, and so I wanted to rank the quarterbacks. Pretty much. Uh, I want to rank the quarterbacks pretty much, and so here's the thing. So here's the thing. I have 7 quarterbacks. I know there's more quarterbacks, but I have 7 quarterbacks that I wanted to rank. So number one, of course, got drafted by. So I went by hype, hype around them, and when they got drafted compared to what I saw on the field Saturday or Friday or whenever the hell they played. So number one was Caleb Williams, of course, in this draft. Caleb went number one. Jane Daniels went number two. Michael Penix Jr. went 8. That's still wild to me that this man went fucking 8 in the draft. Not that he went 8 because he was really my favorite quarterback in the draft, but Do you think? Um, JJ McCarthy went 10th. Bo Nix went 12th, and I put Spencer Rattler on here because of the hype, of Spencer Rattler, and I think he might have been. To be honest with you, I think he might have been the third, the seven quarterback took it. I can't remember. I think he might have been the seven quarterback took it. Yeah, I think it was Spencer Rattler. Then it was Michael Pratt from Green Bay, Tulane. Jordan Travis. Yeah, I think Spencer Rattler had been like the seventh quarterback taken off the board, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta check that for me. But Spencer Rattler is seven on my list. Um, so let's do it. So, like I said, that's the list for the draft order pretty much for them. So here's my list for what I thought of the preseason. Number one is JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy though is officially out with a torn meniscus. He had surgery today. That sucks because I thought the kid would actually be the starting quarterback by week one. Because there's no way in hell you about to tell me Sam Darnold is going to lead the Minnesota Vikings. Get the fuck out of here. McCarthy, when they play Saturday against the Raiders, he had a phenomenal game. And what a torn meniscus, by the way. The man had a phenomenal football game. That shit was good. I know it's backups and third and fourth. Like I said, preseason, I get it. But to see what he did in that performance is pretty fucking good. So yeah, I think JJ McCarthy, when he comes back, when he's healthy, he's gonna clearly take the job from as Minnesota quarterback. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, but he will be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Number two, Bo Nix. I don't know if Sean Payton's found his quarterback. Bo Nix played amazing against the Colts Sunday. He's going to be number one. Like I told my brother Juan last week on our show, there's no way in hell you about to sit up here and tell me Bo Nix is going to lose the starting job to Jarrett Stidham and Zach fucking Wilson. Fuck out of here. Third is Jaden Daniels. I like Jaden Daniels preseason. Even though he only played like a series, that series was fucking phenomenal. When you do get a scary turn, maybe you do go, like I said, get a Brandon Ayuk. That would immediately make this offense just different. You already got Jahan Dotson, you got Scary Terry. I like Washington as a team. Jay Daniels is gonna be great in Washington. Um, same as their list, same as the draft order. I got Michael Penix Jr. for it. Michael Penix Jr. I feel like if Atlanta was smart, they would start Michael Penix Jr. first. I know. They got Kirk Cousins. He's fake. Fuck all that. I would start Michael Penix Jr. first. Fuck all that. Michael Penix Jr. would be my starting quarterback. Like I said, I like Michael Penix Jr. last year in college. I thought he should have been more considered as a Heisman nominee than he was. But Michael Penix Jr. is that guy. Number five is Caleb Williams. I know, Bernie, you don't like Caleb Williams. It's not that I don't like Caleb Williams. It's just Buffalo's defense sucks. They really suck. Like really, 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 really suck. And I was in a barber shop getting my haircut. When I know you don't seem that way, but I was in a barber shop getting my haircut, and we were watching the game. And like I said last week, a couple of weeks ago, Buffalo is going to struggle this season, and nobody wants to. Nobody know. They cannot fucking fathom it yet, but they are going to fucking struggle this season. And I don't think people really truly understand that shit. Man, they are going to fucking struggle this season. They have lost defensive players. They have lost offensive fucking players. That team is going to fucking struggle this year. And I don't think people under fucking stand that. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But Caleb Williams did his thing. I expected it. But I still feel like it's gonna be some things. Him doing it's gonna be some shit that he gonna have to like learn in the process of playing. Yeah, that he cannot do in a fucking NFL game. I get it. He's Patrick Mahomes s, but yeah, that's just not gonna work. It's preseason, cool, whatever. But that was yeah. Good luck. Number 6 for me was Spencer Rattler. I think we found our starting quarterback, ladies and gentlemen, in New Orleans. I'll talk about that later. But Spencer Rattler, man, is the guy. He might live up to his potential in the NFL, not like he did in college, but yeah, we shall see. And then number 7, I got Drake May. Yeah, Drake May is number 7 for me. Uh, he only played one series, didn't really do too much. 2 for 3. He threw like a little quick screen pass. It was, eh, I we gotta see how New England's gonna look. I just gotta wait to see how New England's gonna look. Now, fuck it off this motherfucker. They have a NFL Power Rankings, right? Before the season starts. So, y'all know I've been doing my top 10 list lately when it comes to the NFL. So let's get into it, man. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. They have the Kansas City Chiefs. And number 1, I have the Kansas City Chiefs as my number 1 as well. I think Kansas City, um, until otherwise, they're the best team in the NFL. It would be hard and remiss to sit there and say Kansas City is not one of the best teams in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. Um, you still got to see how these receivers are going to go. Hollywood Brown's already hurt. Go with that. But yeah, I gotta see how Kansas City's gonna look. But they're the number 1 team in the NFL. This is what we did completely and utterly change. So number 2, they got San Francisco. I do not have faith in San Francisco for shit. I'm sorry. I just don't trust San Francisco, man. Um, you know, but I'll talk about that later. Number 2 for me is Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens. Um, yeah, I got the Baltimore Ravens as number 2. Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Anybody tells you that he's not, you are fucking. I can't even say you hating or you just fucking blind. That's what the fuck I'm starting to realize. You know how people say they got selective hearing? You got selective sight, motherfucker. Like this is Lamar Jackson is the best fucking quarterback in the NFL. Anybody tells you not, you're just delusional. But led with that offense, that Derrick Henry now coming to Baltimore, and then you have on to the yes, you lost Patrick Queen as a linebacker, but that's still a dangerous ass defense. Like I said, Nate Wiggins coming as the cornerback from Clemson. I can't wait to see how that's gonna look. But yeah, Baltimore's the number 2 team in the fucking NFL. I don't know anybody that's you can't be that goddamn delusional. Number 3, they have the Baltimore Ravens. My number 3, I have the Detroit Lions. Okay, I wrote this list before Jameer Gibbs got injured. Now, I don't know if it's a hamstring. Some people are saying it's a torn ACL. Um, Nobody really knows. Hopefully, if it's not a torn ACL, man, that offense with him and David Montgomery last year was incredible. And then you add to the fact that that offensive line of Detroit is one of the best offensive lines. Now, defensively, still, like I said, if I was Detroit, I would try to go get um, Hassan Reddick and bring him in from the Jets to add another pass rush to that defense. But let's see how this team is going to look. Defensively, Detroit has to be better. Um, but we shall see, man. I think Detroit's the third best team in the NFL. They're definitely the best team to me in the NFC. So let's see how that's going to play out. But for number 4, for them, they have Detroit. My number 4, my number 4 is the Houston Texans. I think Houston is with CJ Stroud, and um, the additions of Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon. You add a new tight end, who was C.J. Stroud's former tight end at Ohio State, and Caden Stover, who was at the time the second best tight end. before the draft, before this last season that he played in Ohio State, he was the second best tight end. Shit, some people was even saying him and Brock Bowers could be tied for who is the best tight end. Not a very great productive season in Ohio State this past season, which is why he fell so far down the board. But still, at the end of the day, he is still productive enough. Like I said, Joe Mixon, that offensive line should be better this year with an actual starting center now. Um, but that defense, holy shit! If that defense with Danielle Hunter, I know they lost out Altree is out for 6 games due to his PEDs, the PED scandal, the PED suspension they just got. Um, yeah, I think that the Texans defense could be the most dangerous defense on the planet. That's a scary feeling. So yeah, I got the Texans for it. I think they could get, like I've said numerous times. I think Houston gets a Super Bowl, bro. I don't see anybody stopping them really. We both have the same team at number 5, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. Anybody that tells you Philly's going to have a bad season this year, I get it. Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts still not on the same page. That's awesome. That's beautiful. Okay, great. Philly's going to be great this year. I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. Philly is going to be dominant this season. Defensively, they're ready. Offensively, they're going to be great. Yeah, man. Philly's going to be great this season. I don't know what the fuck people talking about, bro. Philly's going to be fucking amazing this season. Number 6, they have the Houston Texans. My number 6, I have the Green Bay Packers. I think Green Bay, Jordan Love. This preseason, like I said, don't put too much stock in preseason. But man, Jordan Love look good. This season, with a Josh Jacobs, that offensive line should be better. With actually his receivers healthy, it's very important. I think Green Bay is gonna be dangerous. And plus, like I said last week when I talked about this defense of Green Bay, adding as Isaiah McKinney, who's one of the best safeties for the Giants, you bring him in with the the defense. You still got Kenny Clark, defensive tackle. You got some pieces in the Green Bay's defense. That's a scary damn defense. So I think Green Bay as a team is going to be the 6th best team coming into the season so far. Number 7, they got Buffalo. Okay, Buffalo's not even on my list, so let me go ahead and talk about them. Buffalo's not on my list. Like I said, I think people are delusional as fuck if you think Buffalo's good this season. You lost like I said, the wide receiver shit is one thing. You lost so many pieces defensively, trying to save Von Miller and people like that. You got a whole new secondary. Like, fuck no, man. Buffalo's going to shit the bed this season. I don't think people understand how bad this shit about to be. I, me and my brother Juan, we did our NFL division prediction shows, the AFC East. We had them third. I said they could be third or literally the last team in the AFC East. I have little to no faith in the Buffalo Bills. And then on top of that, you're pretty much gonna be trying to play clock management the entire season with running the ball. But you have a whole new offensive line. It you have a new center. Bro. Buffalo's not gonna be good this year. I will be extremely surprised if Buffalo's good this year. Extremely surprised. Because I don't fucking see it. People talking about the offense. That fucking defense took a fucking hit this offseason. They released too many fucking people just to be releasing them. That offense gonna nah, bro. Nah. My number 7 is the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase is probably gonna play this season. I'm not worried about him. T. Higgins is gonna play this season. I'm not worried about him. I want to see the kid from Alabama, um, Jeremy Burton, who they drafted, the receiver. He's now gonna replace Tyler Boyd. I want to see how this is gonna look. Cincinnati's offense, they already lost the offensive lineman who is already out for a while. He got injured. Mims. But I think Cincinnati's defense with Trey Henderson and that defense of Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati's gonna be really good this year. I don't know if they're gonna go to the AFC Championship game. I don't even know if they're gonna win the AFC North. I think I did pick them. I think I did pick them. But yeah, I think Cincinnati's gonna be really good this year. Joe Burrow is back and healthy. That's enough for me. Number 8, they have the Green Bay Packers. Y'all know Green Bay is my 6th team. My number 8 team for me coming into the season is the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, I don't have too much faith in the San Francisco 49ers, especially with the Brandon Ayuk trade situation going on. But that's one thing. They already hurt. They could barely practice for training camp right now. The Saints had to cancel their practice, their joint practices because they don't have enough people to play. That's fucking crazy. That's nuts. They already are banged up. You ain't even get to the fucking you haven't even played yet in a regular season game, and you already banged the fuck up that bad? That's crazy. Yeah, this is already starting off bad, and then you still probably have to trade Brandon Ayuk. I don't see how San Francisco makes it out this year unscathed. And I don't think the AFC NFC West is that fucking bad. If you watch the preseason game for the Cardinals, they barely had starters out there. And they were pushing the Saints offensive line around. That defense of Arizona is gonna be fucking good. If they can get any production from that offense. Arizona, like I've said, is a sleeper. They can get into the playoffs this year. I got Arizona getting into the playoffs this year. Sneaking in, but getting in. San Francisco, woo wee boy. Woo man. But I gave them 8. I gave them 8. They're number 9 in Cincinnati. Cincinnati I already talked about them in my number 7. Number 9 for me is Pittsburgh. I think the offensive line of Pittsburgh is going to be one of the best offensive lines at the end of the season. Not a great start to the to the preseason for them. That was more on Justin Fields than it was them. I love the rookies that they brought in. Like I said, they drafted literally 3 starters. I mean, right now on the offensive line, you got the starting center from West Virginia. You got your starting guard from Washington, and now you got another starting tackle. I forgot where they got him from, but and then you still got Broderick Jones, who you drafted last year from Georgia. Yeah, defensively, it's fucking Pittsburgh. They're going to figure it out. TJ Watt. I know they're saying San Francisco might get Mika Fitzpatrick if they trade for Brandon Ayuk. I don't think that's possible. I don't know. It might happen. I don't know. But I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to be great this season. It really boils down to the quarterback situation. Is it Russell or is it Justin? And it just falls into that. If Justin Fields could just stop thinking so fucking much, that's really what I think it is. I think he over fucking thinks. I think he's so afraid of fucking up that he fucks up. He over fucking thinks. If he would just stop doing that, he would be so much better. If he just start playing a game like it's a game and not something he needs to just win all the time, he will be so much better. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh's gonna be good this year. I've said this numerous times. I think Pittsburgh could win the AFC North, get into the playoffs, and do damage. And then number 10, they got the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas ain't even on my list. I literally just said it. CeeDee Lamb, if he doesn't even play offensively for the Dallas Cowboys, they have literally nobody on that offense. I like Jacob Ferguson, but Jacob Ferguson is not ready to be Jason Witten. Like you, Brandon Cooks up there in age. You barely have a running game. You got Ezekiel Elliott back, but it's a reason for why you let him go last year. That offensive line of Dallas should be good. I don't know. Defensively, Deron Bland, you got Trayvon Diggs, you got, but most of those guys, like I said last week about Dallas defense, they are about trying to intercept the ball, nothing more, nothing less. They want to intercept the ball. That's it. Make big plays. That's it. They're not good at man coverage. They're not good at coverage at all, to be honest with you. And I don't know if Dallas is even going to be a good team this year. As a team, Dak Prescott needs a contract. Micah Parsons needs a contract. Micah, Par- Micah Parsons needs a contract. CeeDee Lamb needs a contract. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Dallas is going to be good this year, man. I'm sorry. My number 10, though, is Washington. Washington Commanders. I know. What the hell? More than Miami? More than Buffalo? More than. Yes. I think Washington's the best team. And they're not talked about enough because nobody talks about them. But I think Washington's going to be one of the best teams in the NFL when it's all said and done. Jane Daniels, I expect to have not a CJ Stroud year. Actually, I think it's going to be better. I think Washington is going to be a good team this year. Defensively, I got to see it. Like I said, if I was Washington, I would also try to go get Hassan Reddick. But I think Washington's going to be good this year, man. You still got Ryan Payne. You still got Jonathan Allen. Yeah, I think Washington's going to be good this year. That's the show. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I am Brandon Janeau. This is I Believe Sports. Peace.